Hi there, Thuy. Nice to see that you've sent us a set of essays for correction. Let's take a look at what you have done here. The first essay is international marketing. Let's see what you said. Nowadays, multinational marketing is more popular, while many people suppose that such kind of economic activity affects the purity of local culture and traditional perceptions of the host country. Others believe that it is extremely essential to encourage cultural exchange and new perspectives. Each argument has its own explications. Okay, well, they didn't ask you that entirely. You were really doing well up to here, but I would replace this sentence, sorry, not that, this. I would replace it and instead answer the question. It says, give your opinion, okay? You've told us essentially that you're going to discuss both views, but now it's very important to give your opinion. It's one of the things you need to do in order to be considered for a band 7 in task achievement. Just look at the band descriptors. You'll see that it wants your position to be clear throughout the essay. Throughout means from the beginning, so make your position clear in the beginning, starting with your introduction. Let's move on. According to people defending international marketing without the some global advertising campaigns are sometimes inappropriate for local inhabitants. We all know that each nation possesses a unique mindset, special moral norms is without the E, and different social standards, so it is impossible to apply just one commercial for all countries. Not too long ago, get rid of time, the global marketing campaign for Mulan, a Disney movie, get rid of apostrophe S, had an epic failure in Vietnam, and it was banned to be shown on the big screen because of a sensitive detail about national sovereignty, I think you mean, in a disputed area between two countries. It is a typical example we can take to prove that international marketing sometimes could not be just so simple and common for everybody. Okay, so in this paragraph, you've got a lot of interesting things happening. You've understood the topic. You've understood what we're kind of talking about with international marketing. But there's a couple things missing here. Number one, the movie is not marketing, okay? It's not an example of international marketing. It's a product in and of itself. We're talking about the marketing of other products. So using a movie as an example of a fail isn't so appropriate, okay? That's the first problem. Because really, I mean, we're talking about something totally different here when we're talking about an international movie that tends to, or perhaps a foreign created movie that tends to ruffle some feathers in a different country. That's not international marketing. Let's see. Then, did you really talk about invasion and intrusion? Was it offensive? Yes, it was. But did you talk about its being invasive? What does it mean for something to be invasive or intrusive? Okay, so in a lot of different ways, I feel like the development of this paragraph wasn't completely on point. Okay, I'm understanding that you get what we're talking about with international marketing, but still, you weren't really able to create a paragraph that appropriately dealt with it. So let's move on. On the other hand, open-minded people are supportive of the implementation of worldwide marketing campaigns due to their advantages of cultural exchange, foreign language learning, and global thinking in the most economical manner. That's a lovely sentence. After observing an online leaflet of a Chinese traditional dance performance, we are able to recognize some permanent points in costumes, in makeup style, and standards of oriental beauty, and so on, without paying any tuition fee. All right, I don't understand what permanent points means. Additionally, in many cases, international marketing characterizes new living standards, I would have put an S here, for the whole world. Tan skin, for example, can now be judged as the most favorite skin type for women in every country thanks to cosmetic advertisements. Okay, I don't know if I understand that point. I don't really know. Let's see. Characterizes new living standard. I don't understand how tanned skin is an example of a new living standard. This whole thing is a little bizarre to me. I think it needed maybe a little more explanation, or maybe you need to talk about the exchange of ideas, the exchange of language, which you didn't really address at all. So I'm not 100% sold on that particular point. Okay, finally, in my point of view, firstly, what international marketing can do is economize the budget for an enterprise when doing campaigns on a large scale and normalize numerous concepts for customers worldwide in order to boost sales. Secondly, concerning the number of careless commercials in terms of multicultural regard, it is undeniable that they do not pay enough attention to some groups, no E. That is the reason why marketers could not obtain their initial objective. I do believe that international marketers need to perfect their knowledge about the market where they intend to enter and acknowledge the potential result of every wrong detail to be more subtle and more cautious. Okay, let's read your conclusion, then we'll talk about this paragraph. In conclusion, international marketing now evokes controversy, but we could not deny, get rid of on, what it brings to people around the world, get rid of all. In the near future, if agencies enhance content and fully prepare for any ramification, I believe that international marketing could succeed on a global scale. Okay, so what I'm finding here is that you've got some instances of really nice, high-level vocabulary, a lot of really, really good things, but there is some problem in terms of the task achievement. Your structure was good. However, we don't typically recommend having a paragraph just for your opinion. As I mentioned to you earlier, that your opinion, your position should be clear throughout the essay, throughout. So we shouldn't have to wait till your fourth paragraph to hear about your viewpoint. Your viewpoint should be clear throughout this entire thing, starting with your introduction. Now, the other thing is that really how relevant was this whole paragraph to the development of this essay? They asked you about very specific aspects of international marketing, spreading of ideas, language, culture, economical form of education, or invasive and intrusive. So suddenly for you to start talking about some of this, I don't really know if this was appropriate, but generally I would have liked to see your opinion kind of tied into the paragraph that talked about the side that you supported. Okay, so moving on. In conclusion, okay, I already read this already. So a lot of good features here. We talked about it, a lot of good work, but I want you to be a little more careful about what they're asking you. So I see task achievement as something we need to work on, making sure that you're developing your essay appropriately. Then there were some little grammar things happening. Now, I don't think you mentioned us in your email what score you need, but there were some little grammatical things happening, and they were consistent enough that it would probably keep you from getting one of those top 3 band scores in grammar. So I want you to be aware of that. But a lot of other elements here were really, really lovely, so you're definitely on the right track. Okay, so now you've decided to write it on a process diagram. Fish pie production line. Okay, so up to 1 month, we have these things happening. And then all this is happening. Okay, fine. Let's see what you said here. It's a strange kind of thing. Let's see. Another thing I want to do is I want to see your word count. Okay, it is 162 words. It's interesting to me that you did all of this in 162 words. So let's see what you said. The image illustrates the process, not the progress, the process to produce fish pie from raw material to finished product. Overall, food producers operate 2 main production lines with many different stages in order to cook salmon and make mashed potato. Okay, why are we talking about mashed potatoes? Let me see if I understand this. I don't see that they've mashed the potatoes. Look, they've peeled them, they've sliced them, they've boiled them, and they've chilled them. but they've stored them, but never are they mashed. So be careful with your vocabulary, okay? It's simply prepared potatoes. That would have been a better word here. Okay. About topping firstly. I don't know what that means. What does topping firstly mean? That's a little confusing. After up to 1 month of shipment, potatoes are pre-processed and then sliced into small pieces before they're put into large pans, not spans, to boil in water. Once this step is completed, workers let them chill to complete the next stage of storage. All right, this is a little underdeveloped for me. Let's see, what's actually happening here? You said that they were pre-processed. Okay, well, what does that mean when they're pre-processed? So 1 month prior to, up to 1 month prior to preparation, the potatoes are cleaned, peeled, and sliced. Following this, they are boiled and then chilled. Once at an appropriate temperature, the potatoes are then stored for later use. Okay, that's how I would have explained this. All right, you talked about pre-processing. I understand why you said it, but it was just a little vague. Okay. Regarding processing fish, get rid of 2. I don't understand this. Time to deliver fresh salmon. That is unclear to me. So, regarding processing fish, time to deliver fresh salmon and cook it is much shorter. I see. Okay. The time to deliver fresh salmon and fish and cook it is much shorter. Fine. Delivery time is kept within 12, no S, hours. Producers add lemon juices and salt to fish before heat. Let's see at this. Okay, so I would have started with a first here. So, okay, so delivery time is kept within 12 hours. Fine. Producers first add lemon juice and salt to the fish before heated in a steam oven. Then the cooked fish is removed. Well, that's a little weird. Then, let's get rid of that. Then skin and bones are removed from the fish, and it is quality checked by inspectors before being before the addition of prepared peas and sauce. Or you could say before being added to prepared peas and sauce. When the 2 principal production lines meet, here you want to mention that the potatoes are added, okay? And potatoes are added. Let's see. The product it's one product now, right? It's a soup. So the product is wrapped in packaging and refrigerated. Eventually, finished products are distributed by food stores. Okay, well, you said refrigerated, but actually more specifically, they're frozen. So it's a little bit of a difference, okay? So that was the one thing. I actually think you did a really good job of this in only 162 words. Yeah, I changed a couple of things to make it more grammatically correct, to make it sound a little better, a little more accurate. But on the whole, you really covered everything. So I thought you did a good job. Let's see. Prepared peas, prepared. Yeah, that was fine. So I thought you did a good job of this. You did a good overview, no problem. A lot of times what we do when we're talking about an overview and a process diagram, there are a few different ways to do it. You could say where it starts and where it ends. Or you could say where it starts and where it ends and how many steps are involved. There are a lot of steps here. Could you count them up? Yeah, of course you could. That's one way to do it. Or you could say the preparation begins up to 1 month prior to shipping. And in the last phase, let's see. No, I don't think you want to go into all that detail. Maybe what you could say is that the process can start up to 1 month prior to delivery, okay? Or you could say that it is a process with numerous steps and several different ingredients. That was another thing you could have said, okay? So there are a number of different ways you can do an overview for a process diagram. I thought you did okay. Yeah, you said here salmon and potato, so that's fine. Of course, there was also peas, there was also sauce. All right, not a big deal. So good job. Let's see more work from you. I'd like to see you getting involved in one of our programs here, whether that's through the online course, which is going to give you tons of information on how to structure your essays, how to correctly and accurately determine which information belongs in your task 1. Also lots of sentence structures and different templates and information that will help you improve. Or you could just sign up for an essay correction package so that we can continue to correct your essays, since you've got some good information and background in this. Perhaps that's an option you might want to consider as well. Either way, we'd love to work with you in the future, so I look forward to it. Good luck to you.